Okay, good afternoon, class. So, let us start our class. But before I start our class today, so I want to spend a few minutes, okay? And I like to do a survey about my teaching quality. I'm very upset. When I was grading your test, I was very upset. So, I'm very upset that most of you did mistake. In one of the questions that I gave some polymorphic expressions, and I expected that this would be the easiest question. I thought student would do it in more less than 5 minutes. Okay, but I saw that many of you unexpectedly did mistake in this question. So I want to review it, and then I like to know your opinion. How should we teach, and how should we make our test questions, and what should we do in order to emphasize you to give attention in the test question, so that you read the test question thoroughly. Okay. So remember that this was a question. Okay. So overall, how was this test? The test-2. Was it hard or bad or good? How was the timing? Timing was okay? You're able to complete it? Okay. How many minutes do you spend to answer these questions? Who spent more than 5 minutes? Anyone spend more than 5 minutes? Okay. Anyone spend less than 2 minutes? You spend less than 10 minutes? Okay. So then most of you took maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Okay. So let us review. Okay. So let us review the first one. The first one. How many of you said this is true? This is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. You. I'm very upset. So is this statement true? My vehicle, didn't I show you this diagram? Didn't I explain it this diagram? Okay, let us review it, okay? Let me review. What did I explain here? I explained here a car is a vehicle and a truck is a vehicle, okay? But all cars are vehicle, all trucks are vehicle, but not all vehicles are car, not all vehicles are truck, because some vehicles are car, some vehicles are truck, right? And a car is not a truck, and a truck is not a car. Is that a hard thing? I think it is a kindergarten.
So I have a question. So if car and truck have the same arguments, right?
No matter. Okay.
Let's say they have the same argument to put in. Could you say car C5 equals truck?
No, because you may have a Honda car, Honda CRV, and I may have a, for instance, Toyota CRV, RAV4. Okay, they may look same, exactly same. Color same, shape same, year same. Okay, price same, but there must have some differences, right? Are they exactly same? No, because in real life they cannot put in on same place. In garage, if you park them, you need to park one next to other. You cannot park both cars in same place. Can you do that? So then they are not same. Okay, I think this is a kindergarten topic. If you don't believe me, take a challenge with me. If you have a brother or sister at home or niece, okay, so try to explain them and test them after a day or a few days, whether they remember it or forget it. I think they will, most of them, they will remember it. It's very simple, okay? So we used this analogy, okay, in order to explain this, right? Okay, and moreover, we said that we explained that, okay, based on the previous vehicle, car, and bus classes, And we mentioned that vehicle class is an abstract class. So can an abstract class be called to create an object? No. So there is no reason that this statement is true. 80%, more than 75%. I saw that 75%, more than 75% did mistake in this one. I asked them questions this one survey in my last class. Some of them said they did not read the question. They said this is a very simple question. So some of them said they spent a minute. Just.
The way it was phrased made it look as though it might have been separate from the original abstract thing that we ended up making. So it looked as though it was asking.
No, if I open the test question, it says based on the previous vehicle, car, and bus class. Because we, while testing our skill, we should have some trap. This is a trap, right? This is a very simple question, but this is a trap. So shouldn't we check your skill using like this kind of trap question? No? Yeah, that is clear. We are clear that based on the previous question, because we made one question, two questions, because the question would be how or longer. First time we wanted to make one question 40 points. Then we said, okay, it will be very large question and student may skip some lines. Okay. Then what is the reason that some of them did mistake on this one? So is this true or false? Okay, then what is the reason that some of you did mistake here? Okay, and what is this one? This one is tricky question. I think this one is, if you did mistake here, I would say, okay, this is a tricky question, okay? Because all cars are vehicle, right? So this is true. All cars are vehicle. So this is true. And how about this one? A car is not a bus. So this is false. Okay. How about the last one? Okay. So now everybody understand this? Yes.
So why would you ever use vehicle V3 instead of car?
It is possible. It is polymorphic expression.
Is there a reason why?
Inheritance, due to the inheritance property, due to the polymorphism property, because we are learning here polymorphism property here.
But if car already inherits vehicle, why would we need to say vehicle is a car?
Okay, so you are a man, right? Okay, you claim as a man. Do you claim yourself as a human? Why? Because you are a man. Why do you claim yourself as a human? This is human. This is human, broader class, and this is man. So yes, you are a man, so you are claiming both man and both human.
But why would I not just say man equals new man? Why would
Yes, it is correct. Then yes, it's on V2. If I say vehicle, car, V2 equal to car, this is your.
Is there a reason for doing it either?
There is the reason to use polymorphism. There are many benefits that this vehicle can inherit property from vehicle.
So is there no difference between V2 and V3?
Yes, there are some differences. There is the difference runtime polymorphism.
So there is a difference?
Yes, runtime polymorphism. If you say V3 dot, call V3 dot and V2 dot.
Well, I'm saying.
I explained this in a class, right? Then what is runtime polymorphism? What is runtime polymorphism? Runtime polymorphism. Yeah. I spent an hour to explain runtime polymorphism, because our target, in order to teach target, learn, understand run polymorphism, actually polymorphism means runtime polymorphism. I went through what is that called, compile time polymorphism. Then on the last moment I went to runtime polymorphism, because my target was to teach runtime polymorphism. Because please review the previous lecture video that I discussed about okay. So this time I think that you should feel lucky, because I'm recording my lecture video, and if you do not give attention in this class, if you miss a class, if you do not understand anything in this class, you can revisit, right? You can watch the lecture video. Like many professors, they do not record their lecture, so that think about if you would be in another professor's class section, if he or she does not record his lecture, then if you miss a class, then you have to lose the class. But here you can gain. Okay, for instance, I explained your section, right? This is your section. So okay, so whoever does not understand polymorphism yet, okay, so please go through and watch this video. What is that one? Maybe this one, polymorphism. Maybe this video. Yes.
So you said vehicle V1 is equal to new vehicle is a trap question on the test?
Yes.
Why would you add a trap question on the test?
Because all questions will not be easier, right? There should be some tough questions, there should be some easier questions. But we did not think that this is would be a tough question, because I thought this would be a tough question.
But it wasn't really a tough question, it was more of a tricky question.
Tricky, I'm saying, okay. So this one I thought everybody would know that, because the vehicle, in a minute ago, the previous question was related to abstract vehicle. Okay, so this is a good interview question that we saw that. So now you remember that, right? An abstract class cannot be used to create an object. This is the reason that we use abstract class, right? Okay, so then so everybody clear? Okay, I like that if you do not understand this simple thing, okay, please do not tell me that you took this class with me. Tell that you took this class with another professor. If you do not understand this, please do not ruin my skill, my efficiency, okay? Because I spend many hours, more than 2 hours I spend in order to. But if you like, then I can recap. But please, if you like me to recap, but please go through the lecture video again one more time. If you do not understand, then I can spend time, okay? And again, I'm telling, if you do not understand this, then please do not tell that you took this course with me. I'm sorry, I was very upset by getting this. Yes.
Tell us like the average grade of the test.
No, we have not graded yet. That's I'm grading one section. We will finish before 27th. So that I emphasize that the past few weeks really these were really tough. Even it took me a long time to understand. Because when I was a student like you, my professor who taught us object-oriented programming, even they did not have enough experience in object-oriented programming. The professor, they just read the book and whatever they understood, and they explained that in class. Because the professors, they did not have any real-time experience working in company, software development, working as a software engineering. But I am confident with this because I have experience working in company as a software engineer. And I know I faced many interviews and I took interviews with many students and then applicants. And I know that this is a tricky question. This is a tricky question. But there is another tricky question. Okay, so now we understand that an abstract class cannot be instantiated, right? Okay, so then this is second question. If you know this, then there is another tricky question, harder question, that can an abstract class contain a constructor? Yes or no? How many of you say yes? Can an abstract class contain a constructor? Yes, it can contain, because I showed it. It can contain constructor, but it cannot call constructor. Okay, so this class is an abstract class. So if I do not have this abstract, then fine, my program is fine. You see, this program is fine. But this line is still okay. So no, maybe I'm not going through. Okay, so an abstract class still contains constructor, but it cannot be called. Yes.
Can two classes inherit each other? So let's say vehicle was not abstract, right?
Okay.
Vehicle inherit car, and car still inherit vehicle.
One thing that we said that multiple parents cannot have. We cannot have multiple parents.
Right. Can a parent and a child be a parent?
Can you please draw? I'm not understanding. Can you please draw what you are going to explain?
So can it be like car inherit vehicle?
Okay.
And vehicle inherit car. That's one. Can that work?
It should not work. Can a father can be a son of a father, or can a son can be a father?
But, I mean,
This is okay. So
they're made at the same time. So
no. What is the reason in real life? Okay, the left one is the father. Car is father, right?
right.
Oh no, right one is the father. This one child. This first one, the first instruction. This left car is a child, right? When you write this one. When you write, for instance, this one, you are telling me here, like this instruction, right?
Can you go up to the car where you make
Okay, let me make you do, okay, car, right?
or sorry, go to the vehicle?
Okay, my vehicle.
Yeah. And can you make that extend the car?
So your question is that, okay, we were telling that object-oriented programming is completely like sequential with real life. So think about your question in real life. So how do we explain that one?
Right. I know in real life that wouldn't work.
So in programming it should not work.
Right. I mean, you can always.
Did you understand his question?
Yeah, I think all the third class or the child class can inherit.
So, okay. So what is your name? What is your name? What is his name? Hey, what is your name? Seth? Okay, so you have your dad, right?
Yes.
Okay, so your dad sometimes calls you dad.
Yeah.
Right? Your dad sometimes calls you dad. Daddy, right? That doesn't mean that you are the dad of your dad. Okay. Okay, good question. Okay, raising good question. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so please, okay, please. Actually, I wanted to record this lecture video, and I wanted you to watch this video because some of these terms really, really difficult, and I tried my best to explain this. I took time and I explained this with very like real life example. For instance, here while I was, it took me long time to understand or to like draw this diagram. Actually, I explained, I understood this while I was writing book on Java programming. Then while I was writing this chapter, I wrote many book chapters. Until I understood this theme clearly, I did not complete my chapter. I revisited again and again. I program a lot for this one. I was trying to understand what happened. Then from one book, I got this type of picture. I got this type of diagram, and so then when I got an explanation that all trucks are vehicle, but all vehicles are not truck. Then I got the clue. Oh, now I understood. Okay. Then after that, I never forgot. So this is why I want to give you that lesson, that I thought that everybody would understand this. Okay, anyone has any question about this? Yes.
For your abstract vehicle class, is the default constructor necessary?
No, it is not necessary, but we actually we started through a non-abstract vehicle class, right? In the non-abstract vehicle class, I had this, so I did not delete this, and I also mentioned that it is possible to contain constructor in abstract class, but it is not possible to call that constructor.
Okay, thank you.
You know, the object-oriented principle, we are almost in the second half. We have completed the first half of this course. Many universities, I taught in other universities, many universities only teach only this part, up to what I have taught so far for this course. But this university has extended syllabus. So there we will, for the next few weeks, we will discuss like more in-depth stuff, like linked list and those stuff. Those are actually related to data structure class. But if you do not understand this part, class, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, okay, so then you will not understand other stuff. I thought that this diagram will be enough to explain a lot of things, polymorphism and abstraction. And I thought that we gave these questions. It took me some time to think what kind of questions I should make for this one. I thought this question, through this question, we tested several things, several skills. We tested your inheritance scale, we tested your abstraction scale, and we tested your polymorphism scale. So remember that in one class I told you that if you understand this class, then you would understand more than 30% of object-oriented programming. What was the lecture? Remember that was the lecture? This lecture. Actually, then later unfortunately I saw that my voice was not recorded. So then I pulled this lecture from other section and I made up. So and then I requested all of you, please watch this video again. So please really watch this video. Even if you do not believe me, I believe that many of you know some programmers, software engineer. Okay, ask them some questions. Even sometimes they forget. They will not be able to explain you this stuff. Especially many people, they don't understand the concept of polymorphism. That is the toughest, very hard topic. And even, okay, so if you get like 15 out of 15 in this question, then you will get, I'm sure that you will get an A in this question. And if you do not understand this course, then okay, you should take it again. Okay, I'm sorry, I got upset. Okay, so in our last class we stopped here. We are discussing recursion. Okay, so we stopped here on this question. Okay, so let me make it simple. I don't need ln, and I don't need ln. Okay, instead of making 30, let me make it 20. Okay, so this question is very simple. The few lines. Okay, so can anyone help me to write the output? I'm giving you 2 minutes to understand what will be the output. This is the same question. On the right side is in Java and left side in C#. If you are good in C#, please focus on the left side. And if you are taking Java lab, please focus on the right side. Okay, and then within 2 minutes, I like some of you to explain me the output. What will be the output of this? Put in a sign on that inner sheet.
Who wants to go again?
Honestly, the way he said it, from I think he was saying on Saturday, I was about to walk out.
Anyone?
May we see the message? May we see the message or print number?
No, this is the print number method. We're calling this print number by 10 times. With 10, argument 10. No, that's right output, yes. Yeah, please write in large font. I cannot see. Write in large font. You are pretty close, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. You are pretty close. Anyone has any idea? Yes. Okay, let us understand this line. So this is a recursive call, right? This is a recursive method. And then if say n greater than 0, that means it will go up to 1. That means same thing, n greater than 0 means n greater or equal to 1, right? This is the thing that it means if n greater or equal to 1. Is same thing. So then here it will call print n. Okay, so many of you do the mistake that you see that you ignore what is the reason that we are using this space to make a space, right? Okay, but many of you ignore the space. Then definitely you will lose point, because if you ignore the space, then it will maybe one number, large number, right? But all numbers are separate. Okay, so it will print, okay, the first one it will print 10, and then here at this point it will do recursive call. Okay, then second time it will call itself, and then it will print n minus 1, that's 9. Then up to it will go 1. Okay, when it goes to 1, then again actually here, but if I did not have this line, then it would print only the numbers in descending order, 10 to 1. But since I have here, okay, again it will start from 1 and then it will go to 10. Let me show you. Sorry. So your section is this one, right? Recursive method. Okay, so let me actually we can do that quickly. Maybe we can copy. Let me copy this. Okay, print numbers, right? This one is my actually. This one was my print number. Actually, maybe I do have this one. No. Okay, I discussed this one in my last class. Maybe recursive method here. Okay, got it. Okay, so yeah, let us understand one by one. So if I do not have this, one, okay, so then what it will do, oh, so I do have n squared, right? Okay, so I do have n squared, that means it is squaring numbers. Let me make it n. Okay, see here that if I run it, then it should be 10. Okay, I put 0, so it was originally greater than 0. Okay, so let me run it now. It is in your format. So if I run this program, it will show me 10, 9. You know that giving the space, this is my space. Okay, in your output, if you write all numbers without any space, definitely you will lose some points. Okay, so what is happening? So this is displaying the numbers in descending order, right? Now think about if I want to display the numbers in ascending order, then what I need to do? If I want to display the numbers in ascending order, then I don't need to make anything. Okay, so then I need to display this line on the after my recursive call. If I do this, if I this line and this line is same, right? So in order to understand that, you need to remember that the recursive call over here. So what is going here? So when you get a recursive call, you are calling itself. It is calling itself. It is not going here until it goes to its base case. Okay. So it is calling itself then with n minus 1, and then n minus 1 is calling n minus 2, and n minus 2 is calling n minus 3, and until n is greater than 0, it will be calling itself. So it seems the trick is that very one thing, it matters. It matters that when you are going to print this line, before your recursive call or after your recursive call. Because here within my print method, so it is, although there is a print number method, there is a print output, but it will not be executed until it goes to its endpoint. Because when it calls itself, it will come here and it will come again here. So then it will reduce. This is why when it goes to its base, then it will start printing. So then it will print like this way. So if I keep both, then it will show me this. So he was VT close, he just kept 1 1, right? There will be 2 1s here. He just missed this one. Everyone understand this? You need to practice this. Okay, all programs in my GitHub account. Please open my GitHub account, and you know how to get the latest code from GitHub project. Git pull command. Okay, git pull origin master, one line command. In order to get the latest code from your from my project. For instance, you will go this way: cd workspace cd CSE1322. You are this section, right? When you go here, you will put git pull origin master. Then you will get the latest code. This pull command, one line code. Git pull origin master. It will, so whatever I have pushed, maybe if you are behind, your project is behind, then you will get the latest code by using git pull origin master, git pull command. Okay, execute this git pull command from your project, then you will get the latest command. If it does not work sometime, if you have something that it needs to be trash or something, put F, dash F, force, then definitely it will work. Okay, you need to do some practice. Okay, so recursion, there are not enough thing to what is that called? For object-oriented programming, but almost it is a programming style. So recursion methods are used for many purposes. Like for instance, it is used instead of for loop. Okay, as we know that factorial of a number can be calculated using a for loop or while loop. But sometimes recursion process is faster. And another is that this is a different flavor of programming, different way of programming. sometimes you will see the recursion codes are very simple, but there are only few things that recursion method need to understand. Okay, sometimes there are two things that you need to understand: base, right? You need to remember why is stopping point, your base. Okay, and for recursion, one of the advantages of using recursion method is that sometimes it allows you to remember or to start from your stop point. You know, while reading a novel or book, sometimes we use bookmarks, right? What is the advantage of using bookmark? One of the advantages is that it reminds you where you left and where do you need to start from, right? So through recursion method you can do that, because your stack contains your last execution point. So I think if you do some practice on recursive method, you will get an interest on programming, because a few lines of code, but it does a lot of things. I showed you in a minute ago. If you like, for instance, if you give the print statement here or there, it matters, and you will get a different output, right? So please try something. Okay, try to understand what is happening. Okay, so there is another use of recursion method to call Fibonacci series. In a Fibonacci series is a series that has the third number is equal to the sum of the previous two numbers. Some mathematicians say Fibonacci series start with 1, some claim that it start with 0. So 0 and 1, for instance, or 1 or 1, these will be your base case. So the third number is the sum of previous two numbers, 2 equal to 1 plus 1, and then 3 equal to 1 plus 2, and then 5 equal to 2 plus 3, and then 8 equal to 3 plus 5, and so on. It is called a Fibonacci series. It is a mathematics series. Okay, it is good to use a Fibonacci to use a recursive method to do this. So here in my Fibonacci series this is my base. My base is I less than 2, then return 1. Otherwise, return Fibonacci, my Fib method, with argument -1 plus argument I minus 1 plus argument I minus 2. I want to show you an exact program here. So instead of here I less than 2, even if I say okay, I will show you in a program. And then there is another other uses of recursive method is that reversing a string reverse. In my previous classes I showed you to reverse a string using string length and another way in place, right? This is the third way to reverse a string. Okay, so this is a method for string reverse. This is a complete program. Okay, so here if you give a string hello with value hello, then it will return you hello in reverse order. This is a C++ program, and I believe I should have C#. This is a C# program. For recursion, Java and C# are almost same. Only a few lines, right? Instead of here in console.writeLine, and then I wrote over in Java, what is that called? System.out.println. Everything is same. And I use console.read key just to halt the output until I press any key. Okay, so then open your project. You see Fibonacci. Okay, so this is my recursive Fibonacci program. It's very simple. Okay, it should work. The first 10 Fibonacci numbers are 1, 1, 2, 3 like this. And if you, instead of first 10, if you make first maybe 18 or 19, then it will give you first 19 Fibonacci numbers. Here is the Fibonacci recursion call is here. This one line. And this is the important point. This is your base, right? So even if maybe you can make it 2. Let me see. Let me try with maybe first 10. No. Oh, sorry. It means less than 1, less than 2. Less than 2. Then this will work. It's either less than 2 or less or equal to 1. Same thing, right? Less or equal to, this is means actually, this is means n less than 2. Here is the important thing, okay? For here, you must use a relational operator. Equal, okay, or less than or equal, okay? So here, maybe in my last class, I mentioned, I pronounced wrongly. I said it's a logical operator. This is not logical operator. This is relational operator. Less or equal to. Okay. So this one and the last one is string reverse, recursive string reverse method. This method is very simple. You see that very pretty simple. Here, this one line. This is the one line. And this is my base. Okay, so try to go when you go home and spend some time. Okay. Like this way, make some changes in your program. You see that, for instance, try to understand that if you do not give this string dot character at 0, if you do not give it, what will happen? Try to understand and make some changes in your program and try to run it and see that what is your output. It's not accurate, right? So try to understand what is happening. And even if you, instead of giving 1 over here, if you give 2, for instance, then try to run it and see what happens. Or try to give it 0 and try to execute it and see that it is giving me an error. This is called stack overflow method. Okay, so it must be 1. And try to understand yourself in your next class. If you do not understand this, please ask me question, okay? And my last minute, okay, so the last slide, recursion has a lot of use in non-linear, what is that called? Non-linear recursion. We will start non-linear recursion in our next course, next class, next week, okay? This is called linked list. Okay, but before, in order to understand linked list, you must understand all object-oriented principles. So you have a few days, and please, before you come to next class, please recap this. Okay. And another thing, that an announcement. Okay, my wife is sick. She needs a surgery. I may not be able to come. I will try my best. Maybe in case I cannot come in class, I will send you what is that called? Announcement. I will record a video and I will ask you to watch that video. Okay. So before you come to next week class, both classes, please look at the announcement. Okay. Okay. If I cannot come in, then definitely I will give announcement. And if you give me a favor, so some of you please email me your phone numbers, so that if I need to contact, then I will give you. Okay. Thank you so much.